Hey guys, do you want to play some Dungeons and Dragons?
No,
Yes,
I
please.
played Dragons, actually.
The waggy.
Great! Welcome to DieFall Presents Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen. Everyone's level 3 now. Yay! We're gonna
Dragonlance?
what?
Dragonlance?
God damn it. I'm gonna do the recap so we can get into this as quickly as freaking possible. Hey, we were in the idyllic little village of Vogler taking part in the Kingfisher Festival. It was nice, it was fun. Everyone was having a great time. And then we did this, you know, kind of little fun reenactment of a battle on High Hill. It was a great time. And then there was a betrayal. People started dying, and real weapons were being used to murderize the militia folk of Vogler, and our players here did their best to save as many of them as possible, as it seems that some of the ironclad regiment, led by Cudgel Iron Smile, were paid off, bought, something. We have a captive. We're looking to interrogate said captive and find out what happened, why, what's the point, and why all the murder, etc., etc. So we find ourselves starting our game back in Vogler. We would be returned here to the Brass Crab, which has been hastily reconstructed into a bit of a meeting chamber and hospital.
Is it a war room, too?
Sure, a war room, some may say, in the main chamber of the Brass Crab. It's a bit tense, I would say, as you all, Mayor Raven, Cudgel, Becklin, and Darrett would all be in attendance immediately here. The Brass Crab's owner, Yalma, has prepared the tavern's common room for a night of celebration, as is normally followed after High Hill. But unfortunately, those plans are quickly abandoned. The food is somewhat left out and the drinks are utilized here, but mostly everything is turned into a place to tend to the wounded, or a meeting of, you know, the elders here in Vogler. As you're all gathered around, Yalma kind of tending to things as much as possible here, Mayor Raven would be the one to address the chamber first. I've already instructed villagers to tend to the wounded and recover the bodies of those murdered in High Hill. I need to know why, Cudgel, the ironclad regiment, attacked. It seems you were betrayed in some way, but why? We have the captive mercenary, thanks to you all. Don't know how else we would have gotten information. It will likely lead to a bit of an interrogation here in a moment. We need to also know whether other dangerous mercenaries are afoot, and scouts need to be sent out on the countryside to find out anything more. I've been told, and have noted, that some of you utilized magic, particularly that of healing. I would ask, she looks kind of directly over at Reyna here, that you utilize perhaps your abilities to help as many of the people ailing as possible. I'll give you time and resources as necessary to do so. Cudgel will butt in at the end of this here. Oh, I only have one concern here. I need to find the fate of my troops, and what happened to them, and why the fuck they would have attacked us. And I need to go now. Right after that mercenary's been interrogated, I'm leaving. So let's get this over with. I need to see who else is compromised. This leaves the floor open here for any of you to have any input on what to do next, or posit any information you might have.
I would turn to Cudgel, be like, Cudgel, yes, hello, sorry, Now, look, I'm not one to point fingers, I'm not trying to do anything like that, however, I am wondering, did you not in any of the preparations for this battle or anything notice the very non-wooden weapons being prepared and carried about by your soldiers? I could see them glinting in the sun as they charged us.
I was foolish enough to think that I could take part in the Kingfisher festivities, and I was not with my unit when they were making preparations this morning. I had left that to Dragonlance, someone I had thought a trusted lieutenant.
Well, fair enough.
Dragonlance, is he the ogre fella?
Yes, the
Who's now dead?
half-ogre fella that has been deftly removed from issue.
How long had he been your second in command, did you say?
No, wouldn't call him my second. A trusted lieutenant is what I would have called him. No, he's been around months. It's been a while. No longer than a year, but months.
Has he always sort of, behaved, fallen in line, or?
He's always itching for a fight, but it's good to have big, large fellas itching for fights on your side when you go looking for fights. She gestures over to the two large siblings in the room that tend to itch for fights. Aye. It's good to have people like you in the corner, right?
What's that supposed to mean?
You're big and you like to fight. And that's a good thing most of the time.
What do you mean most of the time?
Well, when you're in a mercenary company and your job is to fight things, it's a good thing to have.
When is it not a good thing? When am I not a good thing?
When
You're
that
always
itch is
a good thing, brother. It's fine. He cares for smaller words.
My apologies,
Please
my
excuse him.
sorries. I don't know how small I need to go here.
It's fine.
Regardless, I think we go beat some information out of that captured man.
I agree.
Good.
Brother!
What?
It's time we tag team. Pull some fingers.
What do we? Is that a good
other
idea?
game. No,
Do you
not
remember
like that.
last time we did that?
It must have been so unimportant that I have forgotten what happened.
We got yelled at. That's all I remember. It was. I don't
That's
remember.
fine.
I
And it
thought
was
what
the
we
one.
did
It was the
normal.
one we were pulling the fingers from.
Oh my God,
was
that's
yelling.
enough. Let's go. She will start stomping off to the back room where the mercenary is being kept. Whoever wants to join her can. The mayor, Raven here, gives Cudgel kind of the leeway in conducting the interrogation. But she will kind of stop anyone that goes to, to the back room there to follow Cudgel. Don't let her kill him. He still could be used for information, and he's a helpless man now. Don't let her beat him to death.
He wasn't helpless when he was on a horse, trying to fight you. It's funny how the tables turn, isn't it?
It is your decision, but my request that you perhaps don't overly harm him.
We will only do what is necessary to gather information.
She'll give you a nod and proceed to the back chamber there. As you move that direction, Cudgel will, over her shoulder, say, his name is Vilt. It's one of those SV names, kind of like your brother here. I trusted him too. And she'll go pounding through the door there, and you'll see the man sitting in a chair, bound by a fishing net. He looks up, this kind of grizzled expression. The wounds are, well, bandaged, but you can see where the rips are through his armor and clothing and where the blood was spilled here, and he spits off to the side and goes, oh, fucking finally, I've been waiting all afternoon for this part.
You're excited to get your ass beat.
I'm excited to just be done with it, whether or not you're going to kill me or let me go or anything otherwise. And Cudgel will move forward and just punch him directly in the face, much like she did previously. A tooth goes flying out, blood spraying to the side, and she goes, you'll fucking talk when I tell you to talk.
I grab them by the wrist and I squeeze it and I turn them around to me.
She looks at me and goes, what?
Have you done this before?
Not recently.
You are too emotionally compromised to do this. You will not be doing the torturing. You will be witnessing.
She looks up at you and then considers a moment, and then nods. And she will move away and step to the corner of the room, quite clearly recognizing your words as truth. She is emotionally compromised in this moment. The captive, Zvilt, will look up and then, again, kind of spits some blood off to the side. Oh, fine then. Who the fuck am I going to be talking to?
Me first.
Good. What do you want, ugly?
Svartal would, as you know, Ravenna does her thing, Svartal would just come in and slam a chair next to him and just kind of sit eating like a cabbage or something.
Okay. Big
Like right next
cabbage,
to him?
sitting next to him, leaning in. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I like nod, like, yeah.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Ravenna, the floor is yours. He looks up at you rather defiantly in this moment. What do you want to ask or do?
You seem like you are a capable fighter. Then again, you did try to run earlier.
Good fighter knows when to retreat.
Not very
Are you
fast.
Yes, that's correct. You did get it. Are you afraid of death?
Not afraid of anything. Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Really?
Yeah. He kind of falters on that a little bit as you continue to press him. Yeah, nothing.
Do you have something to fight for then?
Aye, money. Oh, we were
Money.
getting paid good amount of money.
Really?
Aye. More than Cudgel over there could ever afford.
I raise an eyebrow. How much money?
I don't need to fucking tell you, huh?
Well, I mean, obviously you're not going to get it, so I mean, somebody might have to collect it.
Yeah. Fine. A good amount of money. Considerable amount of money. Gorgonis came back with it, hired a bunch of us to do this whole damn thing.
He keeps saying a lot and considerable. I don't think he knows how to count.
We never got to see the amount. Gorgonis had it all, but he convinced us all that it was worth a while.
So he could have been lying to you.
Aye, we saw the sack of gold. We didn't get to count it.
Could have been rocks.
It was gold. I saw it with me own eyes.
Were you paid
Sure,
up front
sure.
for this?
We were to be paid after.
Oh, that seems somewhat convenient.
Very convenient. It was almost as if you were set up to fail.
Whatever it is, we were going to get paid.
No, you weren't.
Whatever. It was a considerable amount of gold. Gorgonis went
If
into
you
the
think
woods,
about it,
then returned
you think about
with
it,
a bag of gold.
I will then slam my hand on his hand where he's, and I'm going to squeeze really uncomfortably. You were nothing but bait. You are worthless and replaceable, easily swayed by coin. You have no honor. You are disposable. And so is your life. Because you fear nothing. And there is really nothing in this world that you favor more than gold, which makes you highly susceptible to being persuaded and even baited.
God, Ravenna, are we trying to get information or cause an existential crisis out of the
I'm
man?
making a point here. If there is any information you have, you should share it with us now. Because as far as we're all concerned, and your hirers, you're already dead.
Roll me an intimidation check with advantage.
Advantage?
Yeah.
I think I kind of good at
That's a 21. That you're pretty good at that.
I'm pretty good at these.
You're pretty good at that. All right. Yeah. And he looks up and he's, fuck you, fine. You're right. I might as well already be dead. Gorgonis planned to kill Cudgel, take control of the Ironclad Regiment. He went off into the woods a few days ago, west of the camp, returned with a bunch of gold. Right? I saw it. It is real. Sack of it. He looks over, like, past you towards Cudgel, says, when you go look at Gorgonus' tent, you'll probably find it in the trunk there. It'll be there. Gorgonus hired, well, us, his friends, his most loyal mercenaries, to attack the militia during the reenactment. What? I'm giving you the information.
I know you are, but at the same time, you are just a damned fool. Most honorable, most trustworthy.
Well, for him, yeah.
You are a disgrace of a fighter.
Fucking let me finish, and then you can make whatever judgments you like. He planned to raid Vogler after. With the weakened militia, he figured that there'd be nothing stopping him after he took control of the Ironclad Regiment. Which he would be right, if he was successful. I don't know who gave Gorgonus the gold. Don't know where he went. But he came back with enough to, well, get quite a lot of us on his side. Quite a lot of gold. There were some, that remained at camp. The ones, Jayev, he looks again over at Cudgel. He stayed. The other ones at the camp, I think they're probably still loyal. But, the ones that Gorgonus paid, we all accompanied him to the reenactment. Set up a trap, encircle the militia. Try and kill Cudgel in the fray. Didn't work out, thanks to you lot.
To Cudgel, I want to ask, has Gregorus seemed odd as of late? Does it seem like something that he would do?
He's a big-ass brute of a man, or was. Yeah, he'd do anything for coin, I think, probably. And as long as he got to bash a couple heads in. Aye, and I think probably taking control of the Ironclad Regiment would be something he'd be interested in doing. But I don't know. He's never acted odd or off. He's a big man that likes to fight. And that was worthy, and that was enough for me. Now, it is good to hear that Jayev is probably alive. He's my actual second in command. It seems that some of the Ironclad Regiment may still be loyal, which is also a good thing, and means that investigating this is going to be a little bit easier.
Then we should head to the camp.
Oh, she'll shake her head here. I'll take some of what remains of the militia here and some of our people, but I think perhaps you need to help these people as much as possible. I'll do the investigating. Maybe you can help with the scouting. We don't know if the countryside's safe. We don't know who Gorgonus met with, or anything like that.
Which is why you probably shouldn't do these affairs on your own.
Exactly what I was thinking.
And again, I do not mean to insult you, but you are still emotionally compromised.
Aye. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
You are closely tied to this, so you need somebody with an even head to go with you.
All right. I'm not going to fight you on it. It's fine. Whatever you want to do. I'll take that, I'll take the help that we can get, but, I think check in with the mayor and Becklin. See if they've got anything that needs doing. Again, more than capable of doing it myself, but alright.
And you?
He looks up. Yeah, what now? Do I die now?
Would you like to be an actual fighter?
I'd like to
An actual
survive the
warrior.
night. That would be my first thing.
Well, if you answer my question with actual answers, you might be able to.
Alright, go on then.
I will make a deal with you. I will hire you. Since you are so easily swayed by coin.
Listening.
I will hire you to help with the forces here. Train them. Work with them.
That pissant militia that we just put the dent in, you want me to train them?
And that money that you saw, I'll give it to you.
He looks over at Cudgel. Cudgel will look at you. Are you sure you know what you're doing?
I'm gonna hold up a finger.
She'll shrug.
You don't really care about being a warrior. You just want coin, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm offering it.
Sure. Gets me out of this chair, out of the bindings, maybe healed up a little bit. Sure. I'll train the damn militia.
But here's the thing. You're going to have to actually mean it.
Fine.
I'm going to have somebody supervise you.
Can't wait to hear who that is.
And whenever you unsatisfy them in your performance and in your actions, I will take 1 gold coin away.
Oh, don't worry about me. I aim to satisfy.
Good, because it's a lot of coin.
So we're gonna get out of this chair or what?
Of course. And I go to untie him, and then I break his pinky.
Oh, God! There's a crunching sound. Ah, fuck! What the fuck was that?
Oops.
Well, I hope he doesn't have to train them with that hand, I suppose.
Just a little reminder
Fuck. Fine.
of what could happen if you try and cross us.
He'll nod and kind of seethe a little bit here, but you do untie the net from around him.
I pat him on the back, and I go, just put a splint on it. You'll be fine in a couple of days.
I was gonna play a little good cop and just like, you'll be fine. Pat him on the back and just cure wounds.
Oh, God. Okay, that's a whole
Don't let her
thing.
see that or she'll do it again.
The issue is Cure Wounds does have some visual components to it.
That's fine.
That's, I mean, as he moves out of the room, I think Cudgel will also just come over to Ravenna and the group. I'll put him under some watching guard, but that's, I mean, we're gonna go see the rest of the mercenaries then. And also I think the mayor's gonna be a little surprised that we left him unguarded or, well, freed him, I guess.
I'm pretty sure the instructions were to not kill them. So I did just that.
Right.
If there's a problem, then I will answer for it.
Fine. It's on you then, not on me. Let's
Fine.
go back out there, I guess, and I'll see what's next. And yeah, go back out. The prisoner, or was once prisoner, Svilt, will be kind of posted up on the side and be seen to as well. The cure wounds, however, having handled most of the worst portions of his most recent wounds. Back in the war room, the mayor would address you all. So, what is it then? Do we have more to fear? Is there something else that we need to be prepared for? We give up
He's
all the
found
info?
steady employment. That's a positive, I suppose.
Yeah, she'll definitely give a look at them. What? Steady employment?
Yes, I'm afraid I'm not exactly the main contractor here. You're gonna have to ask Ravenna, I think.
You told us not to kill him.
Fine. Yeah, you're right.
And he wastes space and food if he just sits there the whole time.
Fine. Fine, whatever you think is best. You've been helping us quite a lot, and that's fine. But what's next here? I think she looks over to Becklin, and Becklin will try and calm her and take over here. There's some things we need to do. We need to, 1, go to Cudgel's camp, see if there's anyone there that's still loyal, and ensure that there's safety there for those people still. 2nd, we need to set out scouts, those that know the surrounding area of Vogler, or perhaps are capable of navigating it, to see if there's anything around us we need to be aware of. And the last of which is going to be, we need to rest and help these people, and she gestures around the makeshift hospital here, heal up as much as they can. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring us, but I do know right now we've got a lot of hurt people. So, I'll leave it to you all. Where do you think we should begin?
I turn to the rest of the comrades. That's up to you. All with the sparkly hands.
Let's just keep some details to ourselves.
Ravenna,
Yes, brother.
why are we staying here? Why are we not going home?
Because, brother, There is a great fight afoot.
But like, we can find our own fights. Why are we helping these people?
This one is more tactical, not straightforward. And it brings me great thrill and adrenaline. And I feel compelled to help
You always
them.
gotta have the glory. I don't want to be here. I don't want to see the reason to stay here. I don't know why we're helping these people. It doesn't make any sense.
You would shame our clan.
What is the shame?
These people need help.
Yeah, they're all puny. They always need help. They need help anyway.
That is why they especially need help, brother. Because they are puny.
I
They
don't know
are
what's
like
happening
little
here.
babies.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening
And you
here.
would
but what
not
about
leave
home?
a little baby in a forest full of wolves.
What's happening at home? Is anything? What? I don't know what's happening here. Is this a bigger thing? Is there
You
something at
wouldn't
home
know
that we
what
gotta
was
worry
happening
about?
at home because you weren't there.
While
I
you
was
all
there.
have this brotherly sister spat, I'm gonna go ahead and get my hands dirty.
Thank you, Sparkle Fingers.
That's not fair. I was there for a little bit.
Then you left when Mother died. And this is what
Yeah.
you do to carry on our legacy? Walk away?
What legacy? What legacy? We came to do the thing. We met with the people and we
It is
saw
true. We
the
did
green
that.
shield guy. And
I understand that,
we're
brother.
done.
Do you want to be done? Do you want to leave? Where will we go
I don't see
next?
why we have to stay.
Well, what will we do?
Go home.
You're just gonna go right back into the woods. I will stay here then. You will leave. You've already
I
done it
can't
before.
go-
You could do it again. And I will squint and I will storm out.
Cudgel will go with you, expecting that we're probably going to the camp here to at least investigate what's happening.
Yes, correct.
Reyna, as you make your way about, are you going to utilize any of your magic here to assist these people, or are you going to just kind of stick to straight medicine check kind of rolls?
We're gonna keep it pretty simple. It was a
Okay.
heat of desperation when we saved Darrett, so
Okay.
we're gonna try and lay low.
Sure. Okay, so roll me like 3 medicine checks here.
Just whilst we're waiting, Joel, I would say Razik would also lend a hand for with
sure.
medical aid and stuff like that.
Okay, then you can roll all. Oh well, yeah. If you want to, I mean, all of those are really good anyways. But you can roll all 3 again with the advantage and assistance from Razik as you guys are doing this stuff together. The first 3 are 15, 15, and 8. But if you want to, again, roll those, Reyna, for advantage, then they're all right. So it'll be one of them goes to a 19, so it'll be 19, 15. And still an 8, but relatively pretty good as like a group check here, as you're able to assist in the injured people around the Brass Crab in this kind of makeshift hospital setting. There's not a lot of, professional or clean bandages to go around. Most of it is coming from ripped up bed sheets and things like that from the inn, then, soaked in boiling water and things like that, and then applied as necessary around. But you're able to help quite a few people in at least, stopping the worst of their wounds and get them into recovery. As we kind of pay attention to things happening inside the inn here, you would note as well a small gnomish man moving about, doing the same thing and assisting, but you would note quite interestingly here, I think, Razik, this would be most relevant to you, is that as he moves about to help people, he has this tiny little machine. It's like it looks like a small spider. And as he places it on people's, cut skin, this little spider, like a tiny sewing machine, will stitch the wounds as it crawls across people's chests or arms or legs or wherever they've seen, quite severe lacerations.
Well, I mean, I guess upon seeing that, Razik would say to the gnome, "Excuse me, what is that?"
Oh, hi, yes, hello. What is that? This is Pinky. He's, my little friend, little spider guy. Hi, And he looks up at you, and we see a small, gnomish man, black hair, curly, rather fidgety, big nose, and a bit of a black beard down his chin here. Looks up and, yeah, this is Pinky. He helps me out from time to time in doing things, and right now he's, well, stitching people up, because I don't really have the hands for it. And you look at him, and his hands are a bit shaky.
Oh, is it is it mechanical or? What? Did you make that yourself?
A little mechanics, a little magic, you know. A couple of things here, a couple of things there. You ask a lot of questions.
Well, I've never seen anything like that.
Yes, and most normally I keep these things to myself because they tend to freak out the locals a little bit, but, you know, think times of need and all that.
How did you make that?
First question, who's asking?
Oh, I'm Razik. I'm not from around here, I'm afraid. I'm quite far travelled. I was here for Ispin's funeral, and I've gotten wrapped up in recent events.
I've only ever seen tieflings in books. It's actually quite exciting to see you there. My name is Than, rather than Then, it's Than. I'm a bit of a tinker and things.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Than. I would say I'm a bit of a tinker myself, though not as accomplished as you, I think.
Oh, no. Perhaps you just need a little bit more time to harness your craft or something along those lines. You're not going to take Pinky away from me, are you?
No, of course not. No, I'm just admiring it, is all.
Oh, good. I was a little nervous for a moment. Becklin normally lets me keep all the little things that I make, but sometimes the ones that make people a little bit more uncomfortable, she has to kind of take away sometimes, you know? But she did let me keep my biggest and most impressive one. Yeah.
Something, you have more than just than Pinky here.
Yeah, of course. I've got plenty of things. Becklin's really kind. She lets me work on things in Thornwall Keep sometimes.
Not to put you on the spot, but could I have a look?
I mean, I would love that if there's nothing else for us to do here. Yes.
Of course, yeah. Once we've helped out some of
we
the
need to help
people here.
the people, right? The people, the people. And then when we're done, perhaps we will go. Yes. Okay.
Do I overhear this?
Yeah, I mean, they're like kind of off on the side, and you're watching this tiny little spider guy go with the suture there.
Razik, and I'm really bad with names.
Then, rather
if you
than
want
then.
to go and relax, I've got this here. You've helped plenty. Thank you.
Well, I guess I would ask Joel, looking around, does it seem like everything's more under control?
So what we would be looking at here is a length of time of about an hour, right? Where you are helping all of these people as much as you possibly can, triaging patients that are beyond help or helping the ones that can be helped.
Above table, this is really just Reyna seeing the excitement that he has. Like, this is probably the excited I've ever seen Razik. You know, if that makes him happy, then fine. Just like
probably go
do
something that makes him happy after today. Sure.
All right. Well, Than, let's finish up here, and then if you're more than happy, I'd love to see more.
Yeah, I would love to show you. That'd be great. Yes, of course, and you'll work together. You and him and Reyna to assist as much as possible with helping the people, heal and things of that nature. Before we go out to follow Cudgel and Ravenna, I want to stop in with Talonor. In the intervening amount of time, Talonor, what would you be doing?
Probably sort of pulling up a stool and kind of feverishly checking and repacking my bag while having an internalized panic attack, I imagine. As there's a lot of people who just saw me use magic in that fight, and I have no idea who any of them are.
One person in particular will absolutely approach you here, and it's Darrett. Darrett is limping somewhat, but has been magically healed on the battlefield here, so he's actually looking much better than many of the other people in our little hospital. And he'll come over to you, and he pulls up a stool, and we'll sit down. And, it was a hell of a day, huh?
Oh, yep, certainly was. Good to see you on your feet. Last I saw you, I think you were sort of being skewered to the ground.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that a little bit. You saw me die, right?
Can't be sure. I was a little far away, but it certainly looked like that. Yes.
Yeah, and then golden sparkly magic brought me back, right?
Oh, something along those lines, I suppose. Yes.
And then I watched.
By Reyna, I think. I think it was Reyna.
Yes. And then I stood beside you as you called down the moonlight to vaporize our enemies.
Oh my goodness! You must have been running a fever.
No. I mean, maybe I've never been that close to death before.
You
perhaps.
sound delirious. Falling down moonlight.
God, I do sound delirious.
Yes. Are you feeling okay now?
Better than I did then, but I feel sure of what I saw, and well, I've been helping around, and some of the militia members have also said they saw you do things, magic things, a bright flash of light that blinded our enemies, and fire conjured from your hands, and are you a mage?
You can just see the internal conflict going across his face. Yes? What if I said yes? What about yes?
I mean, it would make me feel a little bit better that I'm not going crazy. And that would be incredible. I haven't seen mages here in Vogler in such a long time, and well, if I wasn't going to be in the Solomonic Order, and if I had any form of magical ability, I would have wanted to be a mage too. It must be incredible. Ooh. Being a mage of high sorcery and all of that must be such an experience for you.
Oh, yes, it's quite the honor. We like to keep it low key. We don't like to flash our celebrity around. So just
right. It could be unsettling. People aren't used to magic. I understand. No. Your secret. Well, it's not necessarily safe with me because I think we've talked about it quite a lot here in town since the fight because it was fucking incredible.
Oh, good. I'm glad it was appreciated by, yes. Your boss mentioned caravans that go to other cities.
Oh, yes. I mean, well...
Do you think they'll still be going with the events or anything?
Well, I'm
Any ships sailing out of here, or...?
You could always take a fisher boat, charter one to out of here if you need it.
Yes, middle of nowhere sounds good.
I'm sorry, Talonor. I didn't mean to. It's quite clear I pushed a button here. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh no, it's quite alright. It's just trying times in the mages of high sorcery, and we're in high demand everywhere. So
sure,
can't help everyone at once. Oops.
Right. No, and of course I don't want to take up more of your time. You've obviously got bigger and better things that you need to handle, and well, I wanted to make sure I wasn't going insane.
No, not insane, unfortunately. Good to see you up though, up and about. That's good.
Right.
You must have a hell of a headache. Is there a hole there now, or how'd you heal up?
Actually, and he'll pull his shirt up to where it's bandaged, but it doesn't necessarily need to be, and he'll pull the bandage up, and you'll see just a fresh pink scar where the puncture wound of the spear once was. It fully healed.
Oh, that's a
bit sore.
That's a good trick, isn't it? I can't do that. You have to be thanking Reyna for that.
I will. Does it mean the gods are back?
I'm sorry, what?
Well, magic like this was from legends. Ispen used to tell us stories about it. That back the breaking and the cataclysm of the world, that the gods used to, they used to give powers to people before they disappeared, and things like healing magics, which haven't been around for 200 years.
Now, I've been educated a little bit on magic-y matters, Joel.
Yes.
Well, how much would I actually know about that?
I mean, you would... Being from a rather high-class house, of elves and being magic in nature and having spent time in your apprenticeship, actually learning things before deciding not to, you'd know a good bit.
So I in that case, I'll say something. Yes, that sounds about right to me. People should really be talking about that. You know, I think that's quite the major development.
They are.
Oh,
They
good.
haven't really
Good.
brought it up yet, but I told Becklin all about it, and well, she told me to stop telling people before she got the opportunity to talk to Reyna herself. I'm sure it's probably fine, really. It's just kind of exciting that
I mean,
you know.
It's the reason you're alive.
Right.
You know?
I'm very
If the
excited
gods
about
are
it.
back, they clearly like you, don't they? Look at that.
Well, they like Reyna well enough to like me, I suppose. In any case, I'm thankful that I get to continue to walk around here. But I you know, because you're a magic user, I thought maybe perhaps you had a little bit more insight.
Well, what
Why
she's
would
telling
they
you is
be
more
back?
or less true to what I know. I don't know anything about that. All I know is about the magic that she seemingly used. And
Sure. Yeah, no, that's
it's of that origin, I believe. So, you know,
No,
empirical evidence is pointing to her not lying to you.
right. Evidence, empirical. I know those words. Sure. Well, maybe I'll talk to her about it. I don't want to bother. He like looks over, and this is in the points in time where Razik and Reyna are, you know, helping and fixing and suturing and medicining all over the place here. And maybe when she's done.
Oh, I had one question for you, actually. You said you don't get mages in Vogler here often.
Yeah.
When's the last time one came round? Or do they come round at all? Or do you mean never? Or
Well, Eastman had some friends that were mages, and when he was alive, they would come to visit sometimes.
a lot of them live here, though? No sort of check-ins or,
No.
you know... What a shame. I would have liked to chat with them, but okay. Well, that's how it is, I suppose. You just see Talonor visibly decompress.
Oh, right. Like, no one's gonna come look at him for all of this. Yeah.
He's just like staring at every person in the pub like, are you? Are you?
Someone in disguise. Yeah. No, sorry. I'll stop bothering you. You're clearly, doing something with your bag there. But thank you for your help in saving me and the town.
Oh, that's right. That's all right. I suppose. I suppose
Quite
so.
heroic of you.
Well, I was there too. You know, I was quite keen on surviving as well. But thank you. No, yes, of course. Very happy to see you alive.
Yeah, right. Sorry, of course. I'm gonna check in with Becklin and see if there's anything I can help with. Thanks.
Good idea.
And he'll hop off the stool and kind of limp on over to where Becklin is here. Talonor, is there anything else that you would like to do in the time being?
I suppose him making it obvious that I'm incredibly, obviously rummaging through my bag in a panic attack. I'll just throw my bag to the floor and put my head in my hands.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
God.
Oh, no. Sure. Absolutely. Okay. This is our little check-in time with Svartal. After your argument with your sister, she has gone storming off with Cudgel to go investigate the mercenary camp and see what can be found there. What are you doing?
Svartal would be, I mean, he'd be in his own head, but he'd be brooding. He'd essentially be like, you'd visibly see in his face that he's just kind of staring off into nothing, but he's doing the little help he can do around the, you know, whatever, the little triage area.
Sure.
If people are squirming while they're being sutured, he'd like just hold their
Sure,
legs
you would
for a
help.
second.
Yeah. Roll me a
like,
medicine
yeah,
check. Let's do it.
whatever.
Let's see how, you know, nature's medicine does here.
Okay.
That is a
Ooh.
nat 1. I think, like, every time you move to help someone here, right? And you come over and you know, like, oh, do you need help or something like that or whatever it is, people just, like, look up at you, visibly scared, just terrified.
Yeah. What I imagine, too, is, like, so, you know, say somebody's, like, suturing somebody's wound and they're, like, wiggling. So, like, what Serrato would do is he'd try to hold the leg down so like it doesn't wiggle and maybe hold a little too hard.
Yeah. And you do help, but everyone is just mostly terrified. And I think that's what comes away from it here is that people are just scared of you.
Yeah, that makes sense. And he's very much in his like he's pissed. Like so Spartle is
just angry looking while he's doing this.
Cause he's like, he's sick of his sister most of the time when she's off doing her honor and glory crap. So this is just another one of those little sisters being little sister, and he's just kind of annoyed and pissed. So like that I think is coming out.
It comes across pretty heavily here. Absolutely. We'll take a moment here as we kind of like back away from the brass crab, and we'll follow Cudgel and Ravenna outside of town here. Cudgel will make her way to the gates where there are a couple of guards here, and she'll look back at Ravenna and go, "You know how to ride?"
Yes.
Good. And she'll gesture over, and one of the militia members will hop off a horse and say, "That's yours. We're going now. It's going to be a bit of a way."
All right, let's go.
And so you'll ride a few miles up and outside of town here, out into some like rolling hills outside of a bit of a forest and a clearing where the mercenary camp is set up. And the camp itself does seem pretty well put together, in that, it's well organized. It seems to be well appointed. The tents and things are in neat and even rows. You can see that there are mercenary members out there, tending to fires, cooking meals, polishing weapons and things like that. And as Cudgel arrives and like hops off her horse quickly, not really looking back to where you are here, she'll just start shouting out, "Jayev! Jayev, where are you?" And eventually, Jayev Veldruz will come into view. He's a bald man, about middling height. He has a large curved sword sheathed at his side, and he has a red beard where he is fitfully smoking on a pipe. He will make his way over to Cudgel. "Boss, I'm over here." And he'll come, quickly into view and immediately address her and goes, "What the fuck happened?" "I don't know, Jayev, and I was hoping that you would be able to find out something here. This is Ravenna. She helped us out on the hill, and we need to do a little bit of investigating here, huh? How many of us are still loyal?" He goes, "Oh, everyone left in camp is still loyal. Don't worry about that. If they weren't, well, we would have lost pretty easily here, I think. They apparently have heard of the events at High Hill, and there were some," and he will begin to like walk deeper into camp here, where you will see staked out some 10 mercenaries just in a row, bound to stakes behind their back here. "And we found some that were loyal here that were hoping to get the jump on you should you make it back." And Cudgel will nod. She'll look over at Ravenna. "Well, you've kept my head steady for the rest of the night here. I would have them executed. What do you want to do?"
Not yet. We need to see if any of them have any other information that we might need.
"Sure." And she'll nod.
They are easily swayed by coin as well, so we have the advantage. Plus, we could just kill them.
And what you'll find here is that with Gorgonis like dead and gone, they're all willing to speak. And they essentially all speak to the same things that Svilt did previously. There was a large amount of money promised. Gorgonis was leading this thing. He went out west of the camp a few days ago, came back with a bunch of money, and we're hiring them to do this thing to kill Cudgel, take the regiment, and attack Vogler while everything was in disarray at the Betrayal of High Hill. There's nothing more that is learned or gained from them particularly. It seems that Gorgonis had whatever other extra information there would be there. Investigating these things, their tents, Gorgonis' tent, what you would find is that Gorgonis' tent does have quite a lot of coin in a chest that has been busted open by Jayev and other investigators of the mercenary camp here when you arrive. It's in the realm of like 600 gold pieces, which for us here, like trained mercenaries and stuff like that are looking at 5 to 7 gold pieces a week.
Yeah.
So this is quite a lot of money to be coming down here for a single event, depending on how many of them were involved, right? So it's a good amount of money delivered. Yeah, so Cudgel will turn to you as like the investigation is continuing here, and she'll shake her head. I don't know what else that we can do here. Jayev is, well, the one I would trust with my life. Not like a, trusted lieutenant, but actually, he's the one I would give the entire business over to if I had to. But,
You are the one in charge, so I will leave this decision to you when I give you this choice.
All right. What's the decision?
You could execute the men on the stakes. Bury them. Job's done. Or we could utilize them because the town needs help and it needs extra hands.
Can we trust them though, Ravenna?
Unfortunately not.
Is it worth
However, that is up to you. We have a chest of gold here, and we could hire them.
You're right. You're right. Perhaps.
These are mercenaries. They have no honor. They're not real warriors.
Hey, I take a little bit of offense to that. I am also a mercenary.
I apologize for insulting you. You are a warrior.
We do fight for money. You're not wrong. But I try to keep us on the right side of things. Try. Being the best I can do there most of the time.
It is hard making such a decision. But this one is yours alone.
She'll nod. She'll look over to where the line of prisoners are. And she'll look at Jayev. We can't trust him.
I will nod in silence. All right.
Jayev will give the order, and each of the traitors at the camp will be executed. Spears to their spines while they sit on the ground.
I will go to the chest and I will scoop up a handful of gold and I will put it in a pack. And I go, payment for the one back at camp or the one back in town.
It's fine. You can take the whole goddamn bag for all I care.
No, the rest of it should be used for the town.
Sure. Right. No, you're right. We'll do that. Also, Jayev, scouts, gather whoever you can, get some riders, scout the countryside. We need to know where Gorgonis went and what he found there, and see if it's a bigger problem. All right? He'll nod again, wiping blood off of the spear that he utilized for the execution, and move off to send scouts out to the surrounding area. This will leave you and Cudgel to return back to Vogler. In the meantime, we go to potentially much more pleasant surrounds, much happier surrounds, as Van the Tinker is climbing excitedly up the hill towards Thornwall Keep to introduce Razik to his little design chamber, his little workshop.
As we're walking,
Sure.
Can I ask Dan? Dan, I've noticed there's a few people who've been looking kind of strangely on some of the magic. We're asking questions about it, that was displayed in the battle. Is there a reason for that? I mean, you said yourself you built your devices with a combination of your skill and magic.
A little bit of magic, yeah, of course, yeah.
So, I mean, what's the deal? Is there a problem with magic in this area, or?
No, it's not necessarily a problem. It's just most people aren't really used to it. They're just
Oh, I see. Okay.
They're not. Every once in a while, there'd be a mage that would come through town or something like that, and doing mage business, things like that, and people would see a little bit of tricks and things. But sometimes, science. Are you aware of the word science? It's a gnomish word.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, when you get to science of such a complexity that sometimes it's mistaken for magic, anyways, and so that can scare some people.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's a lot of apprehension around magic in general, just because, when the gods left 200 years ago, they took a lot of the magic with them. Most of the godly magics, the healing things, the lights from the skies, and, well, there's some things that I was hearing around while healing people up. I got to notice some freshly made scarring from people who had taken quite a lot of spear wounds and things that may have been magically healed. So there's a bit of, trepidation around new magic, old magic being back in Vogler.
All right, okay. Well, fair enough.
Right. Speaking of, you wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? Golden magic healing people, bringing them back from the dead?
That was, the knightly paladin woman who was helping us. She was the one who healed someone, I believe, in the battle.
Yeah, Darrett, I spoke to him. I was trying to see if he needed any assistance or stitching, and I found a nice fresh pink scar that was there, and it seems like he didn't need any assistance at all.
She did it. She's the one who did it.
She's the one who did it. Nothing to do with me.
It was her.
A witch. Yeah. So people are a little unsettled about the whole thing. The gods being back can be really good, or portents of really terrible things, right? And anyhow, here we are, Thornwall Keep, the workshop, right?
Yeah, please, lead on.
Of course. And he'll take you into his workshop, which is an absolute mess. He seems to know where everything is, a bit of organized chaos, as it were. Go ahead and just roll me like a perception check.
Okay, Joel. Sorry, I closed my character sheet. Instead of rolling,
What?
for some reason. That's a 2,
That is
Joel.
a 2. You look around and you're like, this is the most unorganized thing I've ever seen in my life. But there
I'm
are
so
2
overwhelmed.
things with that 2 that you do notice. There seems to be some kind of like automated machine thing over in the corner, like happily puttering away, doing something. And then you see what looks to be a larger version of Pinky also maneuvering about the room. This kind of spider-like contraption that seems to be organizing. It's not actually organizing, it just seems to be moving things from one place to another. You don't know why.
That's Pinky's big brother, I take it.
Yeah, that's Stinky.
Oh, it's impressive. What's it doing?
Organizing. Can't you see? Look, he goes from this way to this way, moves my things from there to there.
I can. You must have your own system, I suppose.
It's all up in here. I've got a really good system going here. Yes, of course. Right, but these are just all minor things. I wanted to show you something even greater. My biggest and greatest invention. And he'll take you climbing the tallest tower of Thornwall Keep to where you see, well, the catapult, also known as a gnome flinger. A large catapult-like contraption at the top of Thornwall Keep that looks like it could be utilized to throw things or people. This is my pride and joy, a gnome flinger, and it can fling things almost half a mile.
I'm sorry, the gnome flinger.
Aye, it can fling gnomes and other things, but I was a gnome and I made it, so I called it a gnome flinger.
But it's not flinging gnomes at.
Well, not
at
actively,
people, or-
but it could. Like, if I go over here and he just hits a lever, starts cranking it backwards, and I go sitting onto this here.
Please, you don't need to. I believe you. I believe you. Please don't throw your.
Right, okay, yes, of course. Sorry, I was just going to give a little demonstration. But I suppose I would end up half a mile north of Vogler.
Dead, surely, wouldn't you?
Oh, no, not dead. I would have a really soft landing. Wait a minute. Where is, And he'll start looking around here. Where did I put... I made some things for... They're called... I call them nary crashers, so that you nary a crash. You deploy upon your landing a bunch of balloons and things like that as you backpack up and they go floating down to the ground.
Oh,
I love this man and he must be protected at all costs.
That's pretty clever.
I think I maybe forgot to make them. But I've got the designs downstairs. Stinky! And he'll kind of just walking away from this, going back downstairs, starts yelling at Stinky to bring him various different supplies to create these nary crashers.
I guess, well, when he returns, I would ask, Than, do you mind if I look at your schematics and can I help a little at all, or?
I would love assistance, yes! My hands are a bit shaky and I've had to make these machines that also shake because I shake when I make them and then everything is just kind of all shaky and I could use a steady hand.
Well, if you direct me, I'll do what I can.
Hi, yes, of course. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. I haven't had assistance in ever. And he will take you down into the workshop, where you will begin on making these somewhat backpack-sized devices that hold balloon-based parachutes.
But I hope I don't mess these up and someone goes in the gnome flinger parachute.
Yeah, you want to roll me a
malfunctions.
Tinker Tools check?
Jeez.
You do have advantage because you are being assisted. 21 is already good, but you do have advantage if you want to roll again.
Sorry, yeah, and that one
Or
and
a
the second
nat
one. So
one.
yeah.
All right, we'll take that 21. Pretty good there. Yeah, you start constructing these nary crashers, and it actually seems to be going pretty well. The schematics made here, even though in a bit of a shaky hand, Van is really good at this. The math is great, and he's right. Some of these things, this science, this, steam-powered things, the smoke that comes out of stuff, the little spider-like creatures crawling around, yeah, it's no wonder the people of Vogler kind of mistake some of this stuff for magic, when in really it's just great engineering.
As we're working, I would say to Than, there's something I have on me actually. I wouldn't mind. You seem quite a knowledgeable sort. I wouldn't mind showing it to you. And well, I'll just reach into my backpack and I suppose everyone would see Razik pull out a large glowing blue crystal that gives off a bright blue light, almost lighting up the whole room. I found this in a ruin, and I mean I can just tell there's some sort of power to it.
What in the great engineer's name is that?
I've asked people about it, and no one's quite known exactly what it is, and well, I'm stumped as well.
He goes and gets out like his little spectacle glasses, they telescope in, and he starts taking a look at it. He's like, that's so interesting. There's things moving about inside of it, light and flashes and smoke and, well, it's not like any gem I've ever seen before. Have you, Is it still like a rough cut thing?
Yeah, I mean, I've always imagined it's like it's broken off from like
A piece
like
of
a
something
geode or
else.
something. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about, shaping it? You know,
What do you mean,
Oh.
shaping it?
give it facets, give it polish, give it... I know I've read something about this before, and he'll start diving into like his books and papers and things like that and looking about. He'll eventually come back out here with what looks to be like this old crumpled up piece. It's got like coffee stains on it too, and he places it out in front of him. He's, this here, I was doing some testing with some glass and some crystals, and well, I had a really nice diamond at one point in time too, but I was doing some light refracting through these things to kind of study the way that the light separated out between all of these different types of materials, and what I found is that with the right polish, the right fractals, and the right things, you could create such wonderful colors, and well, I found it to be rather amplifying of other things I was working on. And now this thing here, it clearly has some kind of power to it. You utilize it, yes?
I do. I have some innate magical ability myself, but this crystal amplifies it.
Amplifies what you're doing. Yes, of
Yes.
course. Like a focus, a spell focus, like what the mages would use.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, look at this thing now. Have you seen what a mage's focus looks like?
I mean,
Crystal
it's a
balls atop staffs and things, polished, rounded, fractaled. There is science in the magic. Have you thought about it?
Not really, not until you've brought it up, but it is giving me a bit of an idea.
Right. Well, I don't know if I've got the tools to do a lot of gem things today, but I think that could be... Whew, that could be something. That could be something. Imagine amplifying the power coming out of this thing. Have you tried powering things with it? Not just you, but like things. Like, and he points over at Pinky and Stinky.
I mean, the thought has occurred to me. A weapon of sorts, or...
Want to maybe give it a try?
Alright, let's go for it.
All right. All right. Pinky! Stinky! It's time! It's time to get to work! And he will gather all of the things that he can. All of the materials necessary for something. And he looks over and he's... You've thought about it? Did you ever write something down for it? Do you have a schematic?
A brief outline.
Okay.
And I'll reach into my backpack and... there will be rough outlines and drawings of a mechanical creature of some sort.
Sure. Yeah, and we'll get this look at a mechanical creature. And our camera will pull back on the two tinkerers working feverishly into the night in Vogler at Thornwall Keep. I think it's a good point for us to take a brief break, and when we come back, the morning after. Hopefully, some more knowledge from the scouts we sent afield. Thanks for being here. We'll be right back. The Dragon Queen has gone to war. The conquest of Ansalon has begun. Eastern portions of the continent have fallen. Kenderbor and Sylvanesti fight for their lives. Where are the heroes in our time of need? Who will stand and join the ranks of the Shard? Join the premier mercenary group known as the Shard of Discord. Build your character, select your class, and roll dice in a game designed by me, Runaway Robot. Scout, build, craft, and fight your way to victory during live stream game crises that directly affect the DieFall show Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. Join now at patreon.com/DieFall. Shard of Discord Season 2 begins. Welcome back to DieFall Presents Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. It is a fateful morning. You spend the night in the Brass Crab, Mayor Raven conferring with the members of the community in the common room for most of the night. Cudgel also having returned, sending off scouts and her Lieutenant Jayev to see what the surrounding area looks like. Some of our friends building things late into the night or assisting the various different members of the community who were injured the day before. In the morning, you would find Mayor Raven, Becklin, Cudgel, and others in the room once again. The main inn common room that has been now commandeered into more of a war room. Those that were here the evening before as more of like a hospital station, some of the worst injured remained, but those that were able to make their way home last night or be carried there were brought to the various bits and houses around in Vogler itself. It looks like Jayev has returned, and they're hearing a report from him. As you all enter the room, the proprietor of the Brass Crab, she will bring out, little bits of drink and food and things, give you small, kind smiles, and set you up chairs around the table as well, so you can listen to the report. Jayev would continue. Good morning to you all. The scouts report came back late last night. It seems there is a significant military force camped several miles north of the village. It looks organized, has vigilant patrols, and from what we could tell, soldiers are a mix of humans and other things, mostly hooded creatures. Some sharp features, some things that some of the scouts made out to be wings, but it seems a bit far-fetched. Regardless, there is some kind of army camped north of here.
You said cloaked creatures.
Aye, I did.
With wings?
That was the report that we got back, but it seems a bit ridiculous.
I look to Svartle. Brother. It's more of them. You remember?
The weird guys with the dust and the weird stuff.
Yes, we have fought them before. They are unlike anything we have seen.
Becklin will speak up here. You fought them previously?
On our way here.
do you know what they are? Or their capabilities?
As far as I know, they were already wounded when we dispatched them. But they attacked a whole caravan of soldiers and they were all dead. Scratches and tears into their metal armor, and when you pierced them and they actually died, and then she will kind of like, you will see her trying to gather like her thoughts of like, because she's still kind of reliving it a bit and it's still really weird to her. They turned to stone and they gave off a green noxious gas that almost turned my brother into stone as well.
There's murmurs about the room about these lizard-like creatures, stone gas, and toxins, and eventually Becklin. All right. That is good information, Ravenna. Thank you. It is something to keep in mind that perhaps these creatures may be more dangerous than we are prepared for. Okay, JF, please continue. Right, of course. It seems that they were getting ready to do something. Looks like things were being packed up even late into the night. I'm not sure what the plan is there from them, but, well, we may need to get the village ready for something awful.
Have you had any news of caravan attacks, of patrols gone missing? Not even just from here, but from anywhere else.
Cudgel will shake her head. None of ours seem to have gone missing. Becklin. I have heard strange rumors of armies in the east, and now there's a strange army close to home. This is, concerning, to say the least.
If they are to be believed the same as what we fought, it seems they are directly attacking units of soldiers.
Perhaps they will leave Vogler alone. And Mayor Raven will speak up. Yes. We need more information. I want to keep the people safe. If we can keep Vogler safe, no conflict, that will be, as best as we can do, I think. Cudgel, do you mind lending us the Ironclad Regiment for a time, maybe? And Cudgel will nod. Of course. I'm responsible for everything that happened at High Hill. You have the complete support of the Ironclad Regiment.
I put my hand on her shoulder. You are not responsible for everything that happened there.
They're my people and I'm responsible. I would like to find out perhaps a peaceful solution for this army here, but one backed by the Ironclad Spears. Alright? You have ours. As the conversation continues, there's a bit of a ruckus at the door, and a man comes pushing in. We would recognize him as having a bit of an altercation previously with Razik. A rather pompous-looking gentleman, blonde mutton chops into a beard and bald head, wearing rather flouncy purple ruffled things, comes pushing into the chamber.
The puffy man is back.
The puffy man is back. He comes. Oh, I hear there's a council of war happening, and you didn't even invite the most important person here, huh? And he will grab a chair and sit down into it and say, so, what are we doing about this, huh? And looks over at Cudgel and goes, and why isn't she not in irons, eh? Isn't she responsible for the murder of all those people yesterday?
Why is there not a gag in your mouth?
Oh, be careful who you're talking to, girl.
We could always put a fish in it. He's already
I am
in the water.
as steed. I am the most powerful person in this town here, and in the area that you reside in, huh?
Most powerful how? And I walk up to him and I puff out my chest.
I think it's the stench of fish.
He'll get up and like push himself into you, his belly reaching you far before his chest does. His head will come up just to about your shoulder line and looks up at you. What? What are you gonna do? Sit the fuck down.
You do not order me to do anything. It is you who should be sitting down, coming in here like a ruckus.
The mayor will push forward. Please. Lord Baccharis, please, take your seat. Ravenna, please. We have things to discuss. And yes, Lord Baccharis, you may have not been partial to our discussions this morning, but we will fill you in.
I will nod my head to her, and I will go and I will take a seat. But I will give this puppy man the ugliest like eyes of like, I could tear you to shreds with my tiny pinky, and you would never even know it.
He just stares at you and then sits down in the chair. A drink! I need a drink! Aye, and what were we discussing here anyways, huh? So, we're gonna give it to those bastards. I heard there's an army out there. Go charging off there, you know, for the glory and honor of everyone here in Vogler. There's just silence around the table, and Becklin will speak. I think it might be more wise for us to try and find a peaceful solution, Lord Baccharis. After the losses we suffered yesterday, it would not be wise to rush into another conflict. Rubbish. Get us a horse and a couple of lances and we'll drive off those bastards.
Why don't you do it then?
Aye, maybe I will. Huh? We can just say, oh, Cudgel here, it's all your fault anyways. Give us your horses and lances and we'll go out riding.
I slam my hand on the table. You will keep her mouth out of your mouth. You will keep her mouth out of your mouth. No, you will keep her name out of your mouth, or I shall remove your tongue.
Getting the mayor standing. Please.
I would like to roll intimidation.
Sure, go for it. A 13. He looks over at you. Fine. I'll stay quiet for the moment and listen to whatever half-brained ideas you all have. He'll sit back. A drink is brought to him here, and he starts downing it. The mayor again comes forward. So, the plan that we have at moment is attempt to gather more information and hopefully back any negotiations that we come across with the spears of Cudgel's crew. Do we have any other ideas, perhaps, of what to do here?
Do not send anyone outside of the town. It's not safe.
Right.
If you have patrols, as much as I don't like to suggest this, the bigger the patrols are, the bigger the target.
So, smaller scouting parties? She looks over at Cudgel, who gives a nod to Jaev, and Jaev just moves out, right, to go deliver orders to the people that are actually doing this.
We need to make sure that they all sign and register their times for their patrols. And we need somebody here to make sure that we don't have any missing patrols in the meantime.
Right, we can do that. We can get that settled. Sure. And so the mayor will begin to, give orders to people, including Becklin, and trying to get things organized for a bit of a scouting response here to see if we can't gather any more information. That being said, as you choose this path here, a messenger arrives at the inn, comes stumbling in. There's someone at the gate. There's a messenger of some kind, wearing black and red armor. They're asking for whoever's in charge.
I look around. I will do it.
We will go with you, Ravenna. And whoever would like to come out of the Brass Crab and head towards the river gate of Vogler. It's quiet out on the streets. People look from their windows and doorsteps. The happiness of yesterday's festivities clearly gone, though the colorful streamers and banners still flap in the breeze. The river is very audible today over the quiet of the town. You make your way to the wooden gate of Vogler, beneath the carvings of leaping fish etched into it. A human. A woman in black and red scale mail sits astride an armored warhorse. She holds out a rolled parchment and calls out, "Who among you speaks for this village?" The mayor will look at Ravenna and says, "I will go. Just wait here." The mayor will move forward. "I do. Mayor Ravenuth Vogler." The messenger will hand out this rolled parchment here. Raven will step forward, take the letter, and turn around and read it. "People of Vogler, by the orders of Belafeon, the voice of Takisis, you will quarter the soldiers of the invincible Red Dragon army this night. Refuse and die. This is the Dragon Queen's will." He re-rolls the parchment there. The messenger will speak. "Prepare yourselves to be occupied by the Dragon Army troops this evening. In the meantime, no one's allowed to leave." The mayor turns around. "What do you mean, no one's allowed to leave?" The messenger will hold her ground, and she whistles. Loud, high-pitched thing. Atop the 30-foot-tall cliffs, east of the gate, you see soldiers appear, holding bows and javelins. 4 visible here. No one will leave. Mayor Raven will look back towards the group, kind of eyes wide, worried, and move slowly back. The messenger will take off on the horse down the road, and the soldiers will fade back into the trees above the town. The mayor, she makes her way to you. "Close the gate. Close the gate. Let's withdraw. It seems that we need to rethink our plans." She moves you back to the Brass Crab Inn and collapses kind of into a chair here, worried. Cudgel sitting there before her lieutenant was even able to make it out of the town. "Oh, we've got to get people out of town. We have to let my people know what's coming. We have to get them ready for it. Are we going to let this happen? Are we going to quarter this army here?" Just quiet for a time. The mayor will sigh and speak. Yes, I think we have to, don't we? What are our other options?"
We could try to get somebody to your camp and let them know.
Cudgel points over. "Scrawny's got a point. How do we do that?"
Well, first off, that's rude. And also, seeing as I'm probably the means of doing it, or at least enabling somebody to do it, maybe be nice to me? No?
She
Okay.
cocks her head again. "What do you mean, the means?"
Well, certain magic and stuff might help, maybe.
He has
You
the
have somebody-
sparkle hands.
Exactly. Now, I'm not going because I'm, well, not that much of a fool. However, if you have somebody you trust, we could probably sneak them out.
The person I trust most is myself and Jayev here.
Well, Jayev looks, like a sneaky fellow. No offense, Jayev, but I'm sure he could make the trip.
I could try and sneak out, yeah. It would do with some distraction for the ones keeping watch at the gate, however.
Well, it would probably help mostly if you were just completely invisible, actually.
He raises
can be
an
done.
eyebrow. Completely invisible.
Completely.
Pretty much, yes.
And Ravenna's eyes grow wide, like,
Huh? How?
what?
Yeah. Becklin will kind of walk over to you and... Are you sure you want to do this, Talinor?
I'm pretty sure that I pretty much gave a man a lobotomy in front of several hundred people, so Cat may be somewhat out of the bag. If it helps people, then sure. I'm not going. I'm just going to,
Yeah.
be a innocent bystander in all of this. I'll simply be there, and then, ooh, Dave's invisible. Look at that. Wow.
Right. No, this is a good idea, Talonor. JF, are you up for the job? And he'll nod. Of course I am. I'd do it without the invisibility, but this is going to be much, much more fun.
Now, Jev, a couple of rules. You have an hour. I can keep it up for that long. After that, I can't guarantee anything. Also, people will still be able to hear you. Things like footprints, things like that. Just be wary, okay? You're not out of this world. You're simply invisible.
Understood.
Can
All
we
right,
smell him?
Can you smell him?
Yes, I
I
can.
think you smell fine, JF, but Ravenna's apparently
you.
raising some concerns.
I smell like springtime, I've been told.
Oh, that's a nice way of putting it. Oddly poetic for a man of your profession.
Just in case, we'll need you to go to one of the pigsties and roll in it.
That might attract more attention, come to think of it.
How about
You know,
I just
sort of
be invisible?
Invisible phantom force of shit moving by might be somewhat noticeable.
We don't know if they've got hounds.
I mean, JF, I'm going to leave this one up to you.
I'm not rolling in shit, but I will take the armor off so I'm a little bit more quiet, and perhaps I'll run it barefoot. But, the doeskin boots do pretty good too.
That's a good idea.
I'll do it. Cudgel, we good for this? And she'll kind of give a cautious nod. Aye, and perhaps I had you pinged wrong here. Talonor?
That's all right. Well, JF, if you'd like to surreptitiously follow me down an alleyway or something, we might not want to do this broadside.
Let me get the armor off first, and we'll go do the thing. As you kind of get settled to have him sneak out of town here, the mayor, she'll nod. Right, so with that then, that means we don't have to, alert them or take care of the guards they have posted on the hills, but what are we to do? Are we fighting this? Are we...
We are not equipped to fight them. They were already in tactical positions.
No.
When meeting with you. So they've been planning this.
So what do we do?
We are accessible by sea, are we not? And I assume they haven't... Well, they may have blockaded us, we don't know, but if they haven't, it's possible the Ironclad Regiment could, acquire boats and perhaps reinforce us from the water?
Yep, Becklin, thinking here, nods.
I studied a lot of military history at school. That sounded right, but...
Did you now?
I did.
Ravenna goes, looks him up and down like a maze, and she does this, she goes, really?
Ravenna, how old do you think I am? I realize you may not have met many elves before.
I just never took you as the combat tactical type.
Well, I technically was in the classrooms, I suppose, when they were talking.
You're just full of surprises, aren't you, Sparkle Hands?
Oh, I'm also Sparkle Hands. Okay, well, I was hoping for something more unique, but I'll take it.
She calls everybody that Tuesday does the weird stuff Sparkle Hands.
Ah, okay.
Yes, because it glows.
Sparkly.
It does, it's true.
Cudgel will speak of. Oh, the boats. That might be a good point, Talonor. Do we evacuate the town? We've got all the fishing vessels and things, and the crossing, and we've got the river. As long as they're not blockaded us, perhaps we can get the people out of here.
It'd be preferable to, the alternative. Considering myself thoroughly people, of course, I would quite like to not be here when they show up.
Right.
We could even pick up the Ironclad on the way. Meet us along the shore or somewhere friendly.
We would have to be very careful.
I think Cudgel shakes her head here. I think perhaps, we'll be buying you the time to get out.
What do you mean?
Think of this. The Ironclad is out there, right? Our company. We're gonna give them an alert. Come back towards Vogler and do what? Evacuate? No one in or out of the town. We have those spies up on the top of the hill. they'll send word to whatever this army is, and we violated whatever this little missive was. What we could do is get the Ironclad dug in and try and stop as many of the invaders as possible to buy enough time for the people to get out.
I'm sorry, I didn't really sign up for all of this. I don't...
Well, I'm not asking you to go, Reyna.
No, in fact, I don't... I'm not sure I should be here. I think I must take leave of all of this.
What?
This is not something that I think I should get messed in with.
You are going to
no.
leave.
I think it's best. I have something else that I
Are
need
you
to
not
deal
a
with.
warrior?
Something that's...
Sorry to
That
be
title's
the
a little
sort
up in the air right now.
of logistician right now, but how exactly do you plan on leaving?
I have my own ways.
Yeah, I think like everyone just kind of looks at you here, and Becklin will look at you. Reyna, a moment, if you don't mind, perhaps alone. And she will kind of like move you
Sure.
off to the side. No one's asking you to fight. We can put you on a boat and get you out of here. It's fine. But why now? What is it?
It's the same question I've been asking myself. Fortunately, it's not something that I think I can tell you or anybody right now.
There's not much time for these conversations to continue unless we, well, stop whatever this is. The siblings are, well, they speak of caravans and things being sacked and these creatures, and I, for one, am on the side of theirs, thinking that perhaps this quartering of the army is not that at all. I don't think, this army has Vogler's best interest at heart. Could you not stay at least a little while and help get the people out of here? I know they're not your people, but they do need your help. And then we'll put you on one of those boats, send you downriver, and you can go wherever you need to go.
It's tempting, but I'm afraid that if I stay here any longer, that I won't have the chance to stop what's coming.
The chance to stop what's coming? Reyna, what are you talking about?
I wish I could tell you. I will sound like a lunatic if I were to breathe a word of this. Just know that I do have everybody's interests at heart. I just don't feel like this is the fight for me. That's all.
Well, how do you expect to get out of town then?
Maybe I'll go with... What was his name? Jayev?
Yeah, you just want to leave with Jayev? Jayev is
Above
going...
table?
Jayev's going to be invisible. What? We can only do this for one
Above
person.
table?
Yeah.
She doesn't trust Jayev, like, worth a damn.
Sure.
At all. She wants to keep an eye on him specifically.
We can't make you both invisible. That's just a single trick that Telenor has.
Then I can be the bait.
Aye. How about this? There's another way to get people out of there. Or at least get a message out. If we distract the guards, more people can go out of town, right? Maybe we go do that. Climb the hills, or go up the river a ways and circle around and distract the force that's up on the hill. Then those, with the time allotted here, can make their way out. And I will keep an eye on him. Reyna. Will that work for you?
Fine.
people need your help here. And my years of being spry and helpful and fighting a war are far, far behind me. I'm asking you to do this as a member of the Solamnic Order.
Biting her tongue because she wants to say something, kind of does not want to allude towards, well, there's a kind of a higher power right now that's asking me to do things. Just simply nods, but you can see the tenseness in her jaw as she keeps her mouth closed.
She'll put a hand on your shoulder here. And I do want to speak with you and the other visitors in Darrett after this is done. But yes, thank you. And you guys, return to the table here. New plan. We need a distractionary force to either climb the wall or move downriver, circle around, and provide some distraction so that Cudgel, JF, and I will go out, and we will go meet up with the mercenaries and get them prepared.
Are we not just volunteering people to die in that distractionary force?
Well, no. I'm perhaps volunteering you, though.
Right, that sounds like it might be not exactly in my interests. Volunteering me to do what exactly?
I'm volunteering all of you that helped. Darrett,
You want us to be the distraction.
Ravenna, Razik, Bardal, Reyna, Talinor, yes.
But we don't know how many of them are out there. We could be walking into hundreds of them.
Well, there's a way to find out. And I think you met him last night, Van. He has a couple of contraptions that can see quite a ways, and perhaps we can get a better look at what's over there.
All right, it seems extremely
I can
risky.
also
But...
scout a little bit. I know how to escape. I know I'm big. I know I can do things, but I can also disappear.
I turn and I look to Svartal. Are you sure, brother?
No, but I mean, I want to go home, and these guys seem to really just want to keep us here. If I could make this go faster, then yeah.
Ravenna will nod at him.
Right, well, let's go up to the keep. And, Cudgel, JF, you might as well join us, because we'll be the ones making the dash out the gate to the mercenary camp. Alright? And while we walk, well, there's something I want to talk to you all about. She'll kind of gesture for us to leave the crab and walk our way up to Thornwall Keep. You make your way that direction, and she kind of pulls you and Darrett aside for this. Now, this whole thing, there's a war, unstoppable armies in the east, this Red Dragon army. I think they're part of that greater force. I've lived in Vogler for decades. These people aren't soldiers. They need weeks of training. As much as, Ravenna, you want some of these mercenaries to stay and train, that was their point, but and 100 more professional soldiers beside to stand any chance in any kind of conflict. I think evacuation's the right plan. We can use the river to get to safety in Kalaman. But again, we need to get people out to warn the mercenaries, and I hate doing this to Cudgel. But we need to use them as bait, a distraction, if we're going to save the town. Now, she climbs up. We go up to the top of Thornwall Keep where Than is, up there waiting. He'd been watching all day, and he's, oh, hi, hello, everyone. Hi. I've been just taking a little peek around, and he's got a weirdly shaped telescope up here, and I've been scanning a bit, and oh, did you know there's people over on the other side in the little forest over there on the hill? And there's some horses, and it looks like they even made a little camp. Oh, okay. Well,
Thank you.
yes, right. Well, if you want to take a look, you can just use my little telescopic device there.
I will pick it up and I will
Yeah.
try and
Sight it in.
follow the motions that he's doing, but I will do it backwards.
Wait, hang on. Turn it around.
Cannot see.
Yeah,
It's-
just hang on. Just get it.
What?
To flip it this way. This way.
All right.
And the things like jump in front of you, right? Like
And
being
then it's
able to
just like-
see.
She's like,
Right?
what is this?
It's a little bit of
This
science.
is incredible.
Right, well, hold on, and
Brother, look. Then I like,
oh,
come
okay.
look.
Oh, please be careful with it. It was very expensive.
It's fascinating.
And yeah,
What-
like
what-
telescope things leap in front of you here as you kind of take a scan across the far side of the river gate towards the other hill. It doesn't take long. They're not trying to hide themselves. There are 4 guards up on the hill. They have 4 war horses there as well, a tent set up, and as what looks to be a small fire in the morning here that is just kind of sitting there, fitfully burning. They're looking down at the town and conversing with one another. All of them are wearing armor, have swords at their sides, javelins, and bows. You would also see, as you kind of like look across, each of you, if you take a turn with the telescope there, that one of the guards folk there is the messenger from this morning.
Can we? Are they all like cloaked figures, like the ones that?
They all appear
Startle and I-
human. It's a human woman, like the messenger that was this morning, and 3 human men, all of them wearing that red and black armor. Getting a closer look with the telescope, you would see that each of the armors is emblazoned with the same
Yeah.
symbol that you saw from those hooded figures back in the
Okay.
woods.
I will relay that information to the rest of the group about the emblem and how Svartal and I have seen it before. It was from the caravans.
Yeah, those of you with any training or religious knowledge, historical knowledge, or otherwise would know from this morning the word takesis as it was spoken. The symbol that is emblazoned on the chest there, the spiraling outwards of the multicolored claws, is like being the symbol of takesis, which is prior to the cataclysm known as like the big bad of all the big bad gods. Becklin here. So, looks like there's 4. Does that seem manageable enough?
Yes.
All right.
If they are just humans, they should be easily dispatched.
They do
And I look
appear to be.
back and forth. I look up and down. No offense, too.
Oh, of course not.
No.
What? Why is there only 4?
Perhaps they're just watching.
Brother, you're right. They wouldn't
I've
just
never
leave.
seen humans. Humans are scared. They don't travel in small packs.
They don't unless they're either being watched or they have a surprise. This could be a trap.
Or they think they're not being watched. They, could think that we assume there's more of them.
Why would they tell us that we weren't allowed to leave if they're just going to send out this? And nod towards the patrol.
Or maybe their friends haven't shown up yet.
Look at it. Didn't you say that you studied in military tactics?
Yeah, but one of the most important things we learned is that lying is half of tactics, really. It's called a
Cowards.
bluff.
So were you lying when you said that you did take military instructions?
No, I did study.
You are a very strange man to read.
Thank you. I suppose, I think.
I turn around. I turn back around. Like, I look at the rest. Well,
Yes, well, so, manageable?
what does everyone else think?
You can
Trap.
climb the wall if you'd like, or we can circle around the river and wait, perhaps for a signal of some kind, before we open the gates and get to Cudgel's crew. I think Van would speak up here. Or And, you pardon for speaking up here. He gestures broadly to the gnome flinger.
What is that?
Oh, a way to get over there, quick, quiet, unseen, and so fast.
It looks heavy.
Oh no,
And
no,
dangerous.
Dangerous maybe, but it's no longer dangerous thanks to Razik. So he will pull out the backpacks that Razik and he made last night. We actually have quite a few of them made, just in case. Well, there's like 8, but whoever needs them can just wear them, and you go. So this is how it works. You crank it back, it flings you over, gnome flinger, and then the backpack, you pull a cord, it'll deploy a bunch of balloons, and you'll float safely to the ground.
So it's like throwing a javelin then.
Yes, very much like throwing a javelin, except your body.
Except I am the javelin.
You sail through the air.
Your eyes get really big, like,
You're not considering this, Ravenna.
I am.
Spartle, you
it
too?
sounds
Yeah.
thrilling.
Gosh.
I've
Yeah.
always wanted to know what it was like. In place of my javelin when I threw it and it would impale my enemies.
Razik, under my breath a little bit, do you trust this contraption?
As far as I can tell, I helped make the parachutes, and Than's been helping me some other things. He's certainly not the most conventional character, but when it comes to mathematics and the science behind it all, there's no one I've met as capable as him.
Very
That's some high
convincing.
praise. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Talinor?
Yes?
Would you like to go on a ride?
Oh, gods. I suppose.
This is so exciting.
You said parachutes are involved?
Yes, and he starts pulling out these backpacks. These will help you float to the ground.
How well made are these parachutes?
Roll me just like a perception check. That's a 4.
That's a 4.
Well, Merry Crashers. Well, they look a lot like this sans the balloons there. So there are these like metal and wooden backpack contraptions with a pull cord and what looks to be like this piston or like piston activated ejection system for the balloons. So you would see the bottom part of these backpacks. They look interesting, but not like any backpack you've seen before, Talinor.
Well, I suppose if it's my best shot out of here, then it sounds good.
Oh, it'll definitely be the fastest. And you won't have to go climbing up the hill.
Alright. Everyone else is up for it.
Oh, this is so exciting.
You are all seriously doing this. Oh. All right. All right. Give it.
Yes.
You did want to leave,
Oh.
did you not?
I suppose.
This is exciting. Ooh. And Becklin like looks here. All right. Well, if you're all sure then. Right. That being said, when you're done and get back, go meet with the mayor. I'm gonna trot on down there and let her know, and perhaps you can help people get set for the evacuation. Huh? All right. Darrett. And Darrett is standing there, and he's like looking wide-eyed at the gnome flinger in the backpacks, and he's got one in his hands. Well, Darrett, it's up to you. If you want to do this, and he just nods wide-eyed. There is nothing greater in the world than I would like to do than this right now. I've always wanted to fly. All right then. Great. Good. Right.
Darrett, I mean this with a kindness. You sometimes scare me, kid.
Good. I think.
No, and I slap him on the back. He's brave.
Right, well, let's get settled then. And so they will make their way down to the river gate and wait for whatever signal may come as Van prepares the gnomish gnome flinger contraption to fling you across the high hill road into the other side. Oh, I've definitely got to crank it back a little bit. We don't need half a mile, right? Let's just look at maybe perhaps a quarter of a mile. And then we get this right here. And Razik, could you help me perhaps double check the math on this one?
If you're sure, I would trust you. But if you're sure,
No. Just another set of eyes would be great. Thank you. Yeah. Just roll me a Tinker Tools check with advantage.
All right. Okay. Sure. Okay.
Svartal's just at the edge, by the way, just doing this.
Yeah. Gesturing, gauging the distance. You do that like lick your finger thing and test the air. I've got this. With advantage, fortunately, Razik.
Sorry,
that is a 25. Much better than that original 8.
Yeah.
And you note that, yes, in his excitement here, he's probably got it a little bit cranked up higher than it should be, and so you get him to tone back the hydraulics.
I would reduce the torque a wee bit, I think.
Oh,
Maybe
right, okay,
don't want to have anyone's organs shoot out the
Yeah,
front.
well, I was just trying to balance it out for the, well, and he gestures at both Svartal and Ravenna being enormous. You know, the extra weight that we were going to be flinging across from here. Well, everyone.
I mumble. It's all muscle.
Everyone, get your backpacks on and, take your seats. And there's this ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk.
Then, if you kill us, I will haunt you.
No, don't worry about it. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk,
Svartal's
ka-chunk.
just holding the backpack because it won't fit around his shoulders.
Oh, just be careful, everyone.
We both hold him like on our arms.
When you get to the apex of your height, you're going to want to pull the thing and watch out for the balloons. They explode outward pretty heavily, okay? All right, everyone. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Good luck.
Wait, what's the apex?
You go flying off across and over the road, sailing into the air. As you reach the top, the parabola of your fall.
Amazing!
You look down below you and you can see Vogler. But everything's passing so quickly. And you know that moment you need to pull the chutes here as the trees come rapidly up in your direction. Everyone pulls the chutes. I would love, this is just, oh, absolutely. This is an intelligence check.
Oh gosh.
To know when you need to pull the chute.
Oh
Bad
gosh.
for me. That's very bad for me.
Talinor! Oh no, that's a 5! Talinor, that is a 5. Ravenna, 16. Svartal, 8. Razik, 23. Reyna, 9. Again, these are all checks, not saves. If you had any bonus to this, it's fine, but the DC here is a 10. You pull the chutes at varying different points in time. I need Talinor, Svartal, and Reyna to roll me a D20.
Well, I was going to say, Joel, because of being Talinor, when I can't figure out the damn thing, when I get close to the ground, can I just Misty Step to the ground? Because I'm just like, I can't be bothered with this.
You're
I don't know how it works.
Sure, yeah, magic. That's a good option for sure.
I'll just turn into swirling mist and slam myself into the ground that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you just disappear and reappear on the ground,
Angrily
still
throw
holding...
the backpack off like,
What is this?
think you stupid fucking thing.
Okay, so Svartal and Reyna, I need a D20.
That's 8.
An 8. Okay.
My
Well,
check was a
didn't
10, but I have a
register.
-2 modifier.
Great character, Dan. Can't wait to see the next one. Good shit, man.
Honestly, I'm so surprised that I rolled that high because I had -1. I was like, oh no, it's not
yeah,
good.
Reyna, I need a D20.
I don't know why I didn't register, but I rolled a natural 20.
Where are your rolls today? All right.
I don't know.
On a 20, you pull out the chute, probably a little bit earlier than you should have due to making the mental check here. You begin descending safely. Svartal, however, you pull the chute a little late. The chute works, but it does not help your descent overly much. You will fall pretty much the last 20 feet, pretty heavily here, taking a good 2d6 worth of damage in the meantime for 10 as you go crashing your way through the trees. Reyna, you will suffer just the 1d10 as you were successful to pull it out in time, but you will basically fall much slower than necessary here to get to the bottom, and 4 points of damage as you go crashing into the trees. The rest of you pull it at roughly the correct amount of time and go sailing downwards into the forest north of Vogler here. Or utilize some magic to skip this entire thing. Love that for you. You find yourself in the forest north of Vogler. There's no sound of like anyone calling out an alarm or anything like that. And hopefully you're just a quick backtrack away from being able to find where these guards are. How would you like to proceed?
Sorry, Spartle, I promise I could only do that for myself. As I say, I'm just picking twigs out of himself.
He was having so much fun, he just forgot everything else existed.
I run over to my brother. Wasn't that thrilling? That was amazing.
Well, first I'd like to pick all the sticks out of my ass. Remove the rocks embedded in my skin.
Easier said than done, but absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
He's gonna collect himself.
Sure. How do you
Who
want...
took the 10 damage?
Me.
That was you,
That was, yeah,
Svartle.
It was Svartle.
Watching you pick the sticks and stones out of your body, Reyna will just walk up. Do you mind if I... Is it okay if I heal you?
What? With magic and stuff?
If you're okay with that, we could keep it between you and me.
Okay.
Okay. And with that, I'll go ahead and just, use a spell slot. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do Cure Wounds.
You don't have
and then
to.
I'll pop that off. No, I was debating on that or Lay on Hands. Either way, I will definitely heal you.
Okay.
4 points.
Okay.
There you go. Kind of taking the
And-
sting away.
As we land, just for shits and grins, I want to Divine Sense.
Okay. For 60 feet, if it's not in total cover behind you, Divine Sense gives you what? Fey, Fiend, or Undead?
Yes.
Fey? Fiend or Undead? Rizik has like a tiny bit of fiendish eminence from him, but that's just likely due to his
I have a
heritage.
tiny bit of foe.
Talinor has a bit of
Interesting.
Fey. Svartle has a bit of Fey. No Undead around.
I know all of that. Interesting, because that's the first time I think I've pinged them.
Yep.
And then proceed. That's it. That's all I needed to
Okay.
do.
So Darrett, like as he's crouched here, so all right. So should we creep forward carefully then? And
Are we in? We're in the trees, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in
Yeah.
the woods. You need to
I
like
was gonna say,
backtrack your way towards the cliffside.
If we weren't, I'd say let's go to the woods. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. You landed in the woods here.
Okay.
Adjusted correctly thanks to Rizik's math that you end up in the correct location. You would have been way further. So Darrett is suggesting a stealthy approach. What would you like to do?
Svartle would start putting mud on his face.
He goes, oh, that's clever. That's very clever. Right, and he starts smearing mud on his face too. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Smart brother, and I will also do the same.
Yeah. He's like, all right, so, who wants to take the lead then?
I think Svartle would start walking immediately.
Sure.
If we're in the trees, he knows his way around.
Those of you that would like to proceed stealthfully, please roll me stealth checks. Darrett's going to roll one too. He's not very good at this, but that's okay. He rolled a 12. Good job, Darrett.
I rolled a
18.
9.
Ooh, 9,
We rolled a
18,
2.
2, 3, 7.
Listen, I am a warrior. I am not an assassin.
Whoa! Reyna, you have a disadvantage
Alan's just
too, so
listening
like
to all
that's
the
gonna be even
noise,
worse.
just
but
like
Jeez.
I'm going to die.
Spartle has get away skills, not stay silent skills.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what we find is that as you guys creep your way forward, creep being the operative word here, attempting to get closer to things.
Doing these.
Yeah. Yeah, you give away your position significantly more early than you would like to. And you note the campsite here right before they note you being here. The messenger, 4 of these warriors, and yourselves on the battlefield at proper. They turn, they see you, shout an alarm, and I absolutely need you all to roll me initiative.
One of these days, I'm gonna get animals to distract the opponent so I can sneak up behind them.
Send like a squirrel after him.
Okay, wow, Talonor, good roll there. So we've got on our initiative rolls here, Talonor with a 20, Razik with a 4, Ravenna 13, Svartal 14. Oh, wait, Ravenna, you're on here twice. Ravenna with a 3 on that first one. We love that.
Yeah, 3.
And Reyna with a 12, our buddy Darrett. Oh boy, Darrett, I'm sure you'll be great at this. Okay, he rolls.
He's a fighter, we said?
Yeah, he's a fighter. Question mark?
Wait. Oh, no!
That's a 2. Darrett, good job. Okay. Talonor, this does mean that you are at the top of the turn order. What would you like to do?
Oh, good. Do I see that they've absolutely 1,000% seen us?
1,000% seen you. And what the most interesting portion of it is that the messenger woman that you saw from earlier today is like quickly making her way to a horse, more than likely to try and get away here to, I don't know, send a message.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, if I can see her, then I'll move over technically somewhere I can see her, I guess.
Yeah, you get a little bit away from the tent line of sight there, and you're able to, see her at the campfire.
Can I cast blindness deafness on her and blind her?
What is the range on blindness deafness?
Shit, 30 feet. However,
that is 55.
I can. Well, Joel. Mm-hmm. I will burn my first meta magic point as a distance spell.
Whoa!
And double the range of it to 60. Whoa!
This guy.
That's awesome. Look at that. New stuff, new things. Great. Yeah, as a distant spell, casting blindness deafness. This is the first time you've done this. What does it look like when you cast it? And then tell me what the save for this is.
Oh, it's just like horrible darkness swirling around my hand while I whisper some horrific sounding stuff. And it is a Constitution saving throw, DC 14.
Darrett stares at you as this happens, and you're muttering all of this.
I'm just like side-eyeing him, noticing that, like,
I think Svarta would be a little perturbed by this as well.
She rolls a 14. What is my save here?
14.
So she will just save as the darkness kind of comes over her eyes here. She's able to fight it off and away, unfortunately.
Svartal, stop that one. She's gonna go get more people.
Good. Excellent. Tell her that is your action. Any bonus actions or movement remaining?
No, I'll sit next to, well, I won't literally sit, but I'll stay next to this lovely log that I'm next to.
Sit on the log and
I'll have a little sit. Get my book out.
Svartal, you were told perhaps to go get the messenger woman because it seems that she is attempting to make her escape, heading towards some of the horses here. What would you like to do?
Wait, which direction is she going?
She is going to be heading towards the horses.
Headed towards the horse. Okay.
To get on a horse.
Oh,
where the horses
these don't have
where the horses
people
are
on them.
Correct.
Okay. For some reason, I thought they had people on them.
No,
okay.
the people are around them.
Yeah, he's gonna go stomping forward towards the, I guess the southwesternmost horse.
Okay.
Even though he's not gonna get there in time. Actually,
I mean, you can dash action and get there, but you won't be able to do anything else.
Right.
But it would put you in a spot to make attacks of opportunity should it be necessary.
True. We're going to do something like that. So yeah, we're gonna dash to get to the horse.
Okay.
So I'll get there.
Go crashing through the trees and underbrush here.
Yeah, but before I do that, I'm gonna step forward and just disappear into the bush. I will become invisible with hidden step.
Okay.
As my bonus action, and I will come up here and just sit. quietly waiting.
Interesting. Go ahead and post me the text for hidden stuff, because I'm not overly sure. You can magically turn invisible until the start of your next turn until you attack. Okay, so you go running forward and then disappear.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Svartal disappears from view. We don't know where he went. That's good.
Is Svartal a furbolg?
Potentially.
We have a lot of furball type things on me.
Okay.
Not the overpowered stuff. We took that off though.
We took off. Well, so it's the like.
Just the bonus action invisibility.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't get any of these.
Svartal, you go running forward, turning yourself invisible here as you do so, using some of that blessing of the Feywild. The next person is the messenger woman. She is going to leap over the fire here and then to the closest horse, where she's going to use her action to untie the horse and mount said horse. That is going to be her entire turn. That's all she gets to do here. But she is going to be on the horse. Reyna, what would you like to do?
So first, turning to Darrett, we want to try to avoid a repeat of last time. I will just take like a quick few seconds to say, please, I beg of you, do not run out into battle by yourself. You're completely capable, but I
learned my lesson, don't worry.
All right, and with that, I will go ahead and Reyna will run kind of next to Talonor to get a better view through the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't really want to yell out, but I feel like this is going to be an unfortunate circumstance with Svartal with the spell I'm about to cast. Svartal, I'm so sorry! And then I'm going to go ahead and extend my blade towards the messenger as you watch like these glitter sparkles dance on the wind towards her as Reyna casts Sleep.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm apologizing is because the spell says that it is a 20-foot radius, and I'm
it's
doing
pretty
it
big.
on her.
That is true, but it also depends on how much you roll here on what it will eventually take effect on, because it will start with the lowest HP target. So go ahead and roll me Sleep, and then tell me, like, ping me the center of it. Like, where do you place the center so I know, like, oh, it's the 20-foot radius that includes all of this stuff. Oh, on her. Okay, cool. So from her spot here, that's going to include
5d8.
The horses and Svartal and some of the soldiers here for 21 total. The closest creature with under a 21 in HP is, I believe, the horse. So the horse just falls
unintentional
asleep.
side effect that I'm okay with.
The horse falls asleep. That's the only person that falls asleep as these sparkles kind of like fall through the air here. The horse.
Does it hit the second horse like next to it?
So again, it only affects up to a total of 20 HP.
Oh, gotcha.
Or 21 HP.
Gotcha.
So
My apologies. I thought it was just anybody within that threshold. Forgive me.
That would be an incredible spell. But no, Sleep is a little bit more limited than that. So you cast Sleep here. The horse does fall asleep. The messenger looks surprised and like down at the horse. It seems that she's gonna have to wake it up. Reyna, anything else that you would like to do here?
I will like to just, Reyna will use the rest of her movement to, I think that was, let me double check, only 10 feet. Oh no, actually that was almost her complete movement. Never mind, that ends my turn.
Okay. The soldier's next here as the messenger, looking down at the horse, a little confused, yells out, "Go! Stop them now! I need to go warn the others!" The two Dragon Army soldiers from our further eastern side are going to move into the woods closer to you here, drawing their javelins, and are going to throw one apiece at both Reyna and Talonor here. Oh, okay. They get to make 2 of these attacks. 2 ranged javelin attacks, 2 against Reyna, 2 against Talonor. And I rolled...
How many bloody javelins have they got?
Horrifically. The first is a 21 at Reyna. That hits for 7 piercing damage. And additionally, what you feel is that the iron burns in your body, delivering an additional 4 fire damage. The other 3, however, are a 9, a 9, and a 6. As you take cover behind the log and in the trees, they go scattering amongst you here, narrowly missing Darrett behind you.
I would like to use my reaction as he does that. The attacker that hit me with, because he's within 30 feet, channel divinity, rebuke the violent.
Yeah.
He needs to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 11.
That is a 5.
On the failure, the attacker takes radiant damage equal to the damage it just dealt, or half on a success.
Okay, so he will take 11 radiant damage as the javelin hits you. Again, this is a new one. What does Rebuke the Violent look like as your channel divinity?
Well, as soon as Reyna is hit, it's as if a mirror image of the damage is dealt to the opponent, but this time it's like a blinding bright light.
So from his chest, where the javelin hit you, an explosion of radiant energy rends through him and his armor here, and he cries out in pain and confusion because that's not normal. Great! Love that. The last of the Dragon Army soldiers is going to kind of go over to this horse here, and what is going on here? He's going to shake the horse. Wake up, you stupid fucking horse! And the horse will wake up. He uses his action to wake the horse up. Razik, what would you like to do?
I think the first thing I'll do is I'll move, let's see, to about here. And then, well, the first thing I would like to cast Grease.
Yes.
On the, because it's what, I'll just post the text for it, but it's a 10-foot square, so I would hope to hit, if I can, the two horses and the soldier who's on foot, if I can with it, so they would get knocked prone.
Yes, so they will have to make a save here. I'm just going to kind of put that green square as our denotion for the grease spell. They each need to make a dexterity saving throw. It'll be the soldier and the horse, because the messenger is currently not in the grease.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, yeah.
But let's see. Cool. They all fall prone onto the ground because my rolls have not improved in any way, shape, or form. This will also, I'm going to roll a nice little D100 here to see what happens. Okay, the messenger will be able to throw herself from the horse, but she will also have to make the save for the grease here, as she is not knocked prone, but she, never mind, ends up prone anyways. That is a 9. So all of them, the horse, the soldier, the messenger, all end up prone on the ground from the grease.
That was pretty good.
Damn, that is real good. I rolled really terribly. Fun for me.
I love that it says a bit of pork rind or butter.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time you've cast the spell Grease. How do you cast
butter?
I assume that it's like
a spell focus. That is the caveat to that. Is you can also have a spell focus.
I assume that like sort of
It just turns out Craig's spell focus is actually pork rind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Uses it for all spells.
I assume sort of like a white blob launches from Razik's hand that kind of bursts over the area and splatters the ground in a greasy substance. That's what I'd imagine. Like.
Sure, yeah.
It would be the
now.
thing you use to shine your horns and keep them shiny.
Does it now?
Yeah.
Go
The
splattering
animation
everywhere.
of that is where all of the production budget's gonna go.
If I had a budget.
Well, I do have a bonus action here, Joel.
You do.
If I can use it, I would actually like to make use of my new companion, if I can.
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
steel defender. So, well, I guess it would leap from my back. It would.
Tell me about him.
Sure. So, on Razik's back is sort of this collection of metal panels and gears, and within an instant they sort of all snap together and connect. And a fox or a metallic fox-like creature with a blue glow, which would be similar to the crystal in terms of hue, leaps from his back. And I would command it to move over to the group of 2 guards to my right, if I can. Joel?
Yeah, you should have full control of him.
Oh, I do. So then I will make an attack, just the one on the right.
Yeah, the one that has already been damaged by the radiant energy here, the fox creature. Will roll a natural 20 on its first roll, a 26 for force empowered rend. Damn.
Fox Babu's first 20.
Oh.
It's so cute. It can't be violent. What do you mean?
They grow up so fast.
so go ahead and you will click Force Empowered Rend above that 26 there, and it will auto-roll your damage.
Did it not do it twice there already? Or oh no, it rolled with advantage. Why did it roll with,
No.
with advantage?
NPC sheets always roll twice. We just take the first unless you have advantage.
Okay.
So it'll deal
7
points of force damage delivered here. Rending, again, into this soldier, injuring him greatly. He does not look good.
And that ends my turn.
Nicely done, little foxmans.
Well done.
Yeah, Ravenna, you see a weird-looking blue-glowing fox come off of Razik's back and attack a soldier that just exploded with radiant light. What do you want to do?
I think I'm gonna try and. Well, I mean, the messenger is prone, right? So is the guard next to.
The guard, the messenger, and the horse.
And the horse, okay.
All of them.
I'm going to want to go over there. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Here. Oh, is that going to put me too close to throw a javelin at her?
No, not too close. The thing is with ranged weapons, they are at disadvantage if the target is prone.
Oh, that's right. Actually, is he standing?
He is standing. Both of them over there are standing.
I will throw my javelin at that man.
There's one that is greatly injured and one that has not yet seen any damage.
I'm going to do the one that's greatly damaged.
Sure, absolutely.
I will attempt to throw a javelin.
Just in range of that there for a 19, absolutely hits. Piercing
Excellent,
through
yes.
the scale mail, past the shield of the soldier for 4 piercing damage, which is actually just enough to
why
kill
did
this
it
guy.
add? I don't know why I added rage. I'm sorry. Let me uncheck that. So
And
it's just
he
4.
will fall to the ground.
He's dead.
He's dead. 1 down, Ravenna. That is your action movement. You have bonus action remaining.
No, I'm going to save for my next turn.
Okay. Darrett will look at Rain and say, I swear, I'm being cautious and things, and don't worry, I'm just gonna go help whatever that little fox guy is, and he will go running forward here, drawing his sword and swinging it out. 15, unfortunately, will just miss, and Darrett is now locked into some melee combat. Talonor, this brings us back to the top of the turn order here. 1 soldier down, 3 prone. What do you want to do?
I am going to move up a little bit. Go up to about here. Can I see this soldier prone, or is like the horse blocking
The
him?
horse would be like large and in the way, but we've always allowed to like kind of shoot past things. It's fine.
Okay, cool. In that case, I'm gonna twin a spell. Why not? I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna fire chaos bolts at the guy the little fox fella's fighting,
Okay.
and the prone soldier next to the horse as
Okay.
well.
The second one
Does the
against
prone one have advantage?
disadvantage. It is a ranged spell attack, much like ranged attacks in general has disadvantage.
Oh,
on
that's right. Of
prone
course. Yeah.
creatures.
No. Yeah. Of course. You're right. Yeah. Okay. In that case,
Yep. So the first one will be
sorry,
regular.
my sheet is being super laggy.
The second will be at
Yeah,
disadvantage.
that's.
A
wow, that
9
was good.
on the first as it crackles.
However, the
second,
disadvantage one is a 19.
A 19 with disadvantage as the Chaos Bolt will crackle across the field here. Let's see what type of damage it delivers. Go ahead and click damage for Chaos Bolt. So we've got a
So it
1,
could be a 1 or an 8.
an 8, acid or thunder, depending on your
It'll be
choice.
thunder, why not? Let's fire a big
yeah.
old thunderbolt at him.
Does 12 points of
Kablamo.
thunder damage exploding up here. So talk about, maybe giving a signal. We hear the explosion, and then our camera goes to the front gate of Vogler, and you watch as Cudgel and Becklin and Jayev all look up at that, and Cudgel's like, well, I guess that's a signal then. Oh, off we go. And they will go through the gate and up the road.
You just see Talnor's ears ringing, and he's like trying to get the ring out. It's like, oh, I should have picked acid. Why do I ever pick thunder? Oh, can't hit.
Mop, 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 mop. Excellent.
You're telling
Nicely
me, I was
done.
right next to it.
Yeah, Svartle, you're like, oh, that was real loud. But fortunately, what Razik has done here is presented you with really easy targets. It is your turn.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
I have a question. Is this an armed woman? Does she look like she's part of the military
Yeah.
or part of their squad and stuff?
She's wearing the
Okay,
red and black armor. She's the same messenger that was there this morning. She is quite clearly part of this.
Just All right, just making sure she's not like just some kid they grabbed to be like quick and
No.
swift.
She's wearing armor. She like her helm is at the side here, tossed out because she fell to the ground. Whole thing.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I don't feel as bad about doing this then. So what? That's 15, and then 10.
Yeah, to like
go
make your way around it. Absolutely.
This grease.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just gonna just do a wood chop and swing of my great axe down to this prone to woman. I still feel bad about it. It's weird.
No, don't feel bad. It's fine. This is absolutely with advantage because you are also popping out of your invisibility. So Svartal just like appears down here. Ravenna, Talonor, Razik, and Reyna, you can see him as all of a sudden he shows up with the axe raised above his head, coming chopping down onto the prone woman. Go ahead and roll with advantage on this.
Screaming as always. Yep. Rah!
I start screaming
That's
as
a
he
21.
screams, like, yes!
21 absolutely hits here. Go ahead and roll great axe damage. For 7 on the strike. Absolutely hacking into her here. She yells out in pain. She is wounded, but she is not downed. Anything else that you would like to do?
No. That's good.
Okay. She is going to attempt to, so it is difficult terrain. She is prone, so it will take her entire movement to stand. And if she wants to get out of this, she has to use an action to do so. I think she just draws her sword here and attempts to fight you. You are brandishing a great axe in her direction, so she will swing her longsword here, one-handed, trying to get her shield out and around as well. The first attack here is an 18 to hit for 5 slashing and 4 fire. The next will miss on a 5.
9 total.
Yep, and at the end of her turn, she has to make another dex save against the grease here. That's a 20. She will remain standing. At the top here, one of our soldiers is dead. This one, however, is alive and is going to make 2 attacks, one against our machine and one against Darrett.
Joel, I will impose disadvantage on the one against Darrett with deflect
wait.
attack.
Sure.
After the messenger's turn, is my turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just flipped on through. Okay, yeah, well, we'll save that for a time. Razik, go ahead and Reyna.
Using my movement, I'm gonna go ahead and get up next to Darrett. It's kind of like with Razik, she's really just there to add a helping hand, not really get in the way. She trusts that Darrett has this. And then going to use my action to actually cast Bless on Razik, Talonor, and Darrett. So you guys can all add a d4 to any saving throws or attack rolls.
Perfect. Okay. Casting Bless and moving up to support Darrett here. Yes, then the soldier will go and attack, one for the machine, one for Darrett, just as I stated before, and you wanted to impose disadvantage on the one against Darrett. Is that correct, Razik?
And that's correct, yeah, with the Steel Defender.
With the Steel Defender, it will deflect the attack, causing it to be a 6. And not hitting here. The second attack, however, against the Defender itself is a 17 to hit for 5 slashing and 1 fire damage. I know, right? Down at the bottom here, this soldier is going to get up as best as possible. And then, it takes his whole movement to do that. And then, you know what? He sees that he's got a 2v1 situation here against Svartal. He's going to swing out his longsword twice and attempt to just bring him down. Unfortunately, that is a 6 and a 10. Will miss both, then roll his dex save for the grease, which fortunately he does stand on a natural 20. So he's got that there. Razik, you see the horse continuing to struggle to get up here. They are having trouble in the grease itself. What do you want to do?
Can I move myself here and hit the messenger with a firebolt? Or is there
Absolutely.
like trees in the way here? Okay.
So yeah, there is trees in the way. Like she's going to have a little bit of extra cover, but it's not an impossible kind of shot here.
Do that then, so...
That is a natural 20.
Well, hot damn.
On a 27, I think that might hit. That's 2 net 20s in a row for you, by the way.
I'm just that good.
Yeah,
10.
you are. For 10 points
a 9
of
and a 1.
damage. Yeah, that one's a little sad on that front, but that's fine. It will do 9 points of damage, and she is now greatly injured. the blast in the back here by the firebolt, causing her to scream in pain. Svartal, she is almost dead.
I will then use my bonus action to command my fox to attack the other guard.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a 7.
A 7!
We're
Unfortunately,
on that
will
one,
miss.
actually.
Yeah, we're just swinging both ways here. It's great. All right.
Yeah.
That is some of your movement remaining here, Razik, if you'd like to use it.
No, I'll stay where I am.
Perfect. Ravenna, your brother is battling 2 enemies towards the south. What would you like to do?
Is he standing, the one next to?
Both of them are now.
All right, I'm going to throw my other javelin
Okay.
at the damaged woman.
Okay, so the messenger.
Yes, I will attempt to.
Sure. That is a natural 20. That's a 25. This is unbelievable. Yeah, roll damage. That hits. For 4, did you click the javelin underneath that? Because I need another d6. There you go for 10. Oh, well.
There we go.
Another 3 for 7 total points of piercing damage. It slams into her back here, matching the exact location of that firebolt, and she drops into the grease.
I will go. Yeah!
Terrifying. Okay, Ravenna, that is your action. You have a bonus action of movement remaining.
Yes, I will then, I believe that my brother has the other man, so I will, well, no, actually, I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah, just give some support.
3, 4.
Take both these kills from me. I'm gonna be so pissed.
2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go 5.
Okay, absolutely.
There we go.
Darrett is next up here. He is going to swing against the soldier with his sword. He does get the D4, which may help him. If he rolls high enough. He does not. He unfortunately will miss one more time. We love that. At the top of the turn order, the horses are like shying and pulling away. The one that was already unraveled here is going to use its time to get up. And since it has been tied from the stakes here, is going to just start galloping off into the woods this direction. The other ones just pull at their stakes backwards towards the cliff's edge here before they can do anything else. Talonor, what would you like to do?
How wounded is the guy next to Ravenna and Svartal?
Let me get him marked here. He is bloodied as well. The one here has not yet seen any damage, but the one to the south is bloodied.
Okay. Wondering if we want a prisoner or not. Do you know what? I'll just take a shot at finishing off the bloodied one. I'll move up a little bit. I'm just going to lob a firebolt at him.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll.
That is only a 9.
9! Unfortunately, that will miss as he's able to duck underneath the firebolt there.
It's fine. Yeah, I'll end my turn there. I don't want to expend too much.
Yeah. Svartal, what do you want to do?
Oh man. What do I want to do? I've been thinking about it this whole time. We had a plan and then plans changed. So Svartal just got hit once. He's dipping and dodging for the most part. And he was like, ow, that hurt a little bit. But then he sees Ravenna's spear come out of nowhere and quite literally take the glory out of his hands. And he gets so, it's cartoonishly, you just see you just see steam. Yeah, he looks in the distance past the messenger, and you see Ravenna celebrating, and he's just steam is pouring out of his ears, and he gets so mad, and he screams up at the sky as loud as he can, so ferociously that he starts to grow a snout. And he quite literally grows a animal-looking, bear-looking snout out of his mouth, and he is now very angry and raging, and he goes to take a bite out of this man next to him. So I don't necessarily know how to roll this. It just says your mouth transforms into a bestial muzzle. It deals 1d8 piercing damage on hit, but what am I rolling to hit?
Counts as a simple melee weapon. You add your strength modifier to attack and damage rolls with it. You choose the weapon's form each time you rage. So this is going to be, the to hit is still going to be like Great Axe.
I just roll my Great Axe.
You just roll Great Axe and I'll add bite later. It's fine.
Okay. Not advantage.
Yep, this will be a straight roll with the bite
17.
here. 17 will hit as the bear-like muzzle lunges forward. He goes, "Oh, fuck is that?" And then bitten on his body here. So then I need you to roll the bite damage, which is a D8
6.
for 6 points of damage plus your strength modifier. So that'll be 6 plus the 3 for 9 total points of damage.
Does rage get added onto that?
Yes, it is a melee, so it'll be plus 2 to that too. So 11 points of damage. You regain a number of hit points equal to your proficiency bonus, provided you have less than half of your hit points. So you get plus 2.
I don't have less than half of my hit points.
14 is less than half of 28 or 29. Sorry, am I
I have
misreading?
14.
That's what your sheet says, or your token says to me.
Oh, it says 23 to me.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. You don't regain any hit points, but you do deal 11 points of damage, and he dies. He gets his
Unless
throat
something
torn
weird.
out by the bear jaw.
Rawr.
I scream like, yeah!
So nobody in the world has ever seen this before. In fact, Svartal has never seen that before.
Yeah, you just turned into an
Ravenna
animal.
is overcome with
It literally just-
adrenaline, so she is not really processing the fact that he just did that, but
Yeah,
she's just
that's
like,
fair.
"Ah!"
Yeah, no, I'm just
cuts
pointing
to
out the fact
Talonor
that
doing the shocked Pikachu meme.
Svartal's never done that before. Didn't even know he could. He was just so mad that it happened.
Well, Svartal, you murder this guy. You have movement remaining if you'd like to use it.
DM's like, don't feel bad about it after the attack. Well, you murdered this guy. So,
He would just sit there. I think he would be seething, just with blood all over his mouth.
Sure. Okay, Reyna.
Seeing that there is one last mercenary standing, we're gonna go ahead and try and take him alive. So,
Sure.
gonna try and do some non-lethal damage to this guy.
He has not seen any damage yet, so keep that in mind.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and see here. It's the Squire of Solamnia one that I'm reading. I'm just making sure I can do this.
Yeah, it's up to like your amount of
Yes,
proficiency
okay.
bonus or whatever, right?
Yes. Okay, perfect. So two-handed, longsword, shield still on my back. We're gonna attempt to attack.
Okay. That is a natural 20. You guys have rolled an unusual amount of natural 20s this evening, but that's...
Try to take him alive. Chop his head
Wow,
off.
that's crazy. All right, yeah, 25. Go ahead and roll damage for the longsword there by clicking longsword two-handed underneath that 25.
Longsword two-handed.
For 14
and
total points of damage. Plus the D8 there, so 17 total points of damage. He goes from very healthy to almost dead pretty much immediately. Nice. Okay.
He's dead, Jim.
He's dead, Jim. Cool.
So like you'll watch as Reyna goes to like take a slash, but instead sidesteps and then just takes the butt of her sword and lands it in the back of his neck. You watch the eyes roll into his head and just falls to the ground. Starts dragging him, his limp body, and chucks it onto the horse because I don't want to drag him or carry him.
Okay. Darrett will assist you in this. That was well done. And the combat will kind of come to a close here as you were deftly able to eliminate the guards that were here.
Ravenna, I have another one for you to torture.
Ah! And she turns around like after like, yeah! Ah, yes!
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah. Looking about the area here, Svartal, as the battle dies down, you feel the muzzle and snout kind of receding back into your face. You're able to kind of collect yourself here, but blood still stains your mouth and beard rather heavily. This does give us a bit of time to collect the horses and the people and the prisoner and perhaps head back down into Vogler in a much safer, less gnome flinger way. It seems that things are taking off here in Vogler, and perhaps battle and war has come to this peaceful village's edge. And we'll see how that progresses in the next episode. But thank you everyone for joining us today. It's been DieFall Presents Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah!
Yeah!